All right. Well, we're gonna come on. We gotta get ready for a show. Come on. You ready to go for a show? It's almost time. People are lining up at the gates. They want to see you. They want to see a beagle do some tricks. Okay, you ready? Okay, you got your best fur on. I don't know if that's your best fur, but well, it'll do. Nobody will know the difference. I tell you what, they won't know a thing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get on this YouTube and we're gonna tell them a little something of this, a little something of that, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun. And that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kissy, kissy, kissy dog. You're just a kissy, kissy, kissy dog. Okay, you ready? Okay, you ready? Ready to go? You ready to rock? Okay, here we go. Welcome to Mudding and BEAGS. This is episode 20. We is live. We is ready to rumble. Yes, we are. He has just gotten him a new toy. He got him a beaver toy, and he's so excited about it. He can't stand it. He is so riled up, ready to go. Whew. Hope everybody's doing wonderful tonight. I'm going to get ready here. Let's see here. Okay. Hello, Kathy. How you doing? Um, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. There we are. Okay, I don't know what I did there. This week been a long week. I let's see. Monday I woke up and or Sunday I messed around, fucked around, found out that I was probably gonna have my back mess up on me because of something I did on Sunday working, and I knew I probably shouldn't have done what I did, and because it doesn't catch up with me for another day, and it caught up with me. So Monday I woke up and my when I hurt my back, it sends the pain down my sciatic nerve, and so my sciatic nerve, my foot was killing me on Monday. So I didn't work Monday, and then Tuesday I worked, and I went to the store and I got a truckload of materials, heavy lumber, and overdid it. And so Wednesday when I woke up, I couldn't hardly walk. So I kind of didn't go in until late in the afternoon. So then Thursday I woke up and I actually worked all day, and um, I did really good Thursday, except I was sore. And then Friday when I woke up, my sciatic nerve, woke up and chose violence, and I couldn't walk at all. I couldn't even get out of bed all day Friday. I was absolutely cooked. And so then Saturday I could hardly walk, and then today I felt like I could get around a little bit, and so I went into work to do some light work to try to kind of get some mobility going. And then the boss man, he decided, oh, we could do this and we could do that and we could do that and we could do this. And so I'm really hurting. So it's been a long week. Hi Hippie, how you doing? So anyways, I'm going to start off tonight and take a look at a little something that I just wanted to kind of give a perspective on real quick before we get into some mudding. And yeah, Friday, yeah, I could have, yeah, Friday I was in a lot. I was bad. I could not. I was having a lot of trouble Friday. I was not a happy camper. I'm not a good patient either. So, but Nurse Muddin here, he took good care of me, and he sat right by my side all day, taking good care of me. So, anyways, let me see here. Okay, let me get this added to the. Well, that should have done it. What is it doing here? Okay. I don't know why it's not presenting that. Okay. All right. Chill now. Can't do three things at once.
Okay, let's see if that does it. And let me go ahead and play this. Okie dokie. And let me get this going here. And let me see if that's going to work. I'm not sure. Oh, StreamYard, what is your problem tonight? Oh, my God. Sorry, folks. I swear StreamYard has just gone to absolute hell. It does what I want it, and then it doesn't. Okay, I'll just do it this way. Hopefully it'll keep going. Sorry about that. I have no control of this damn StreamYard. Yeah, I was talking about the exercises, the sciatic nerve stretches and all that. I tried every exercise I could find on YouTube, and I just couldn't, for some reason, I just couldn't get it to release. Yeah, I don't know. I tried them all. I just couldn't beat it this time. Usually I can get it to kind of kill over. All right. So what we're looking at here is an overhead Google shot of Utah Valley University. And the reason I'm showing you this is because on the recent Brian Harpole interview, he was, if you hadn't seen it, you should go watch that if you're interested in that stuff. Hey, 6R. So in this interview, Brian's claiming that actually Dan Flood, it seems, texted the chief of UVU police, hush now, and he asked them if he said that they were told by somebody that the Sorenstein Center had roofs that somebody could get up on. Is there any way that they could, lock those off? And they're talking about the Sorenstein I don't know how you pronounce that, Sorensen Center right here, and which is right above the location. Charlie's Kirk's tent was right here. It wasn't center, it was just off center. And so they were talking about this building. Now, that does make sense that you wouldn't want somebody up on this building, no doubt. Okay. But now you're gonna have to chill out. I'm not in the mood. I've had a week, I'm telling you. Go play with your toys. Sorry, folks. So if you look at this building, and you look at the roof access, it doesn't have great roof access. So, I understand why you would not want somebody on this roof, but if I was a professional security person being paid God knows how much per year to do security for Charlie Kirk, I think that I would take my happy ass and go to Google and take a look at this and make some decisions very quickly. Number one, I would make a decision that this building right here, I wouldn't want anybody up here, or I would want law enforcement or a security person up on this roof, securing that area. No doubt. I would also want somebody, on this roof and somebody on this roof and this walkway. Okay. And I'd want somebody over here, maybe. Um, so, but also, clear as day, I'd want somebody on the Losi Center, which is over here, which is where supposedly this shooter took his shot from. Now, here's the thing. This is where supposedly the guy was, right? He was right here. Supposedly. This is all horse shit. I'm just giving you the official narrative. Because Charlie was here, he was here. Obviously, I would look at, okay, we know that Charlie's tent going to be here, and this would be a perfect place for a sniper to be. What would concern me more than the Sorstein building is the Losi building, because if you look clearly on Google Earth, you walk right up these stairs right here. You walk up one flight of step, two flight of step, and it puts you onto this walkway, this catwalk up here. Okay? But what's a trip is that there's little to no barrier between this walkway and this roof. So literally you could walk up these stairs from off the street, which is over here. Okay? And you could walk and just hop over a little tiny fence, not a big fence, a little fence, and walk right over here, drop your happy ass down right here, and take your shot. Okay? So here's the thing. Yes, they should have had somebody up here, but I think that as a professional security man, Brian Harple, why you didn't have either somebody up here or you didn't confirm that somebody up here is your gross negligence. That's what I think. I think you dropped the ball. I don't think it's on the police. I think, yeah, they dropped the ball also, but I think ultimately the ball was in your court. It's your job to ultimately to make sure that the security is done to a level of perfection that you're hired for. So, sir, I'm calling you out. You're full of shit. So that's all I got to say about that. So now I think we'll go ahead and get into some mudding, and let me get my screen working, hopefully. And I'll put myself down here in the corner. Oh, look at the wrong screen there. Okay, and we're gonna get going. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. And last week we went and looked at old New York City, old world New York City photos. And if you could give me some feedback on if you liked that, if you liked going to that website and looking at those pictures, let me know. If you didn't like it, tell me that really, that sucked. I didn't like it at all. Or whatever, just give me some feedback if you like that. That was the first time we did that, and I just would, if you would like to do that again, we'll do that again. But if you didn't like it and it sucked, we won't do that. So let's go on and get into it. We got a farmyard in Germantown, PA, and we got Fred front and center. So automatically y'all are going to get put on donkey watch. And we got chickens. Going to find some eggs probably. Oh, we got Thanksgiving dinner there. And we got a little guard kitty. And got a guard dog back there. Got to have a guard dog. I got a guard dog. He will tear you up. Looks like something weird there. Some sort of some strange photo manipulation. I don't know what that's about. That's kind of odd. I guess for its hauling corn cobs. Now, something interesting about these style wagons, um, I'm not positive that this one is one, but this shape of wagon, if you've ever wondered why they're shaped like this, that they have this kind of slight banana look to them, that they're kind of up curved. I don't know why I know this. I know, who knows why I know the shit that I know. But back in the day, if they were traveling across country and they got to a river, because you got to understand they didn't have the road system we have today, they'd come to the trail would come to a river or a stream or something that was wide that they couldn't cross with the horses. What they would do is they would take the wheels off and it became a boat. And so they would float it across, and then the horses would swim across. Oh, Lord. Somebody issue a flogging the ha-ha. My goodness. I got to get me one of these hats. That hat is gangster. Definitely. So anyways, they could be used as boats. These were also, they were what called the covered wagons. They could stick the covered portion over this. So anyways, you got stone building, it looks like, and it's got some sort of stucco maybe kind of stuff over it. That's pretty old. That style of roofing is really old. I just found out recently that they make a I don't know when they started making this, but they got a machine now that, if you ever seen them building houses and they got the gutter machines where they roll up and they got the guttering on a roll, the aluminum guttering on a roll, and then they spit it out through a machine and the machine shapes it into a gutter. Well, they got the same thing now for metal roofing, and you can plug it into the machine or whatever, how many feet of that metal roofing you want, and it'll spit out I don't remember if it was 2 or 3 foot wide piece as long as you want it. And it comes on a big roll, and you just choose the color you want. And the one I saw was black, and they just spit it out, and then they cut it per size right on the job site. I was like, damn, I need one of those. So I gotta talk to somebody and get me one of those, because I gotta have that. That's awesome. And we got Albert Hall, Marblehead, wherever the hell that is. I don't know where the hell Marblehead is. It's a nice little stone wall here. I like this kind of stone wall with this kind of pointing. I just like that style. Look at that right there. That's just, I think, really cool. I think it's cool. But what do I know? I'm just a simple country beagle. They got a little Mudflood winter down here. That is a weird little, whatever that is. That's weird looking. Almost a flat roof. That's odd. I don't think I'd like that. We definitely built these. They got our quality marks all over them. Check out that swing. That's pretty cool. I've seen those modern versions of that. Kind of cool. Stone foundation. See, that's a proper foundation. Got a big pole here with looks to be a fish on it. That's odd. Got some ether finials up here and here. Some ether cresting fences there. Diamond symbology. Ether finial there. Wind catcher. And clocks. And as you know, they're expensive. Welcome, Dragon Sage. How you doing? And we got I don't know if you know, but these clocks, they had one mechanism, and then they had the one mechanism ran the 4 clocks. There's a checkerboard symbology. Who do we know that uses checkerboard symbology? Looks like it says 1880. I don't know. That's a finial. Hush it. I ain't got time for it. You went out for a show. You don't need to go. You just want to be squealy. This is Appleton Chapel, Harvard College. Hush. Go play with your toy. Your new toy. The one that I just got you. The beaver. Go get the beaver. I think that's a beaver. The lady at the store called it a beaver. I'm calling it a beaver too. It's not my beaver. It's her beaver. I mean, it's the store's beaver. I mean, it's your beaver. Go play with your beaver. Mudflood Winters down here and here. Torus Fields. That's really nice looking right there. Got some ivy. It's like there's a little winter down there poking out maybe. Fire ladders. That's interesting. Fire ladders. That's not something I've seen before. I wonder what this barrel's got a hose coming out, running out to here. That's weird. Must be water and something. That's kind of weird. Looks like a door going below ground there. Big doors, probably 12-foot. Mudflood Winders. All right, now quit that squealing. Here, I'll give you a treat if you shut up. Here, put that in your damn pie hole. Here, you want? Oh no, you want another one? Last week, Hippie said I didn't give you enough, so she's advocating for giving you biscuits. Okay. Da 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 da. Look at that stained glass. That's pretty. Very pretty. I tried to find him another dog bed today at the store. They didn't have any more today. Aggravating. They had all the crappy ones. I mean, they were nice, but he can eat about damn near anything. And I found one that he liked. Porthole. That's nice. All right. Looks like they added this top here, the wind catcher here. That could be a circumpunct. I mean, it's a little different than normal, but it could technically be that. Got the finial. Something sticking. It must be a lightning rod up. I don't know if you can see that, but okay, we got Arkansas Club and Post Office, Hot Springs, Arkansas. So we're going to go see Hillary, see how she's doing. Oh, something right here. Might be vents. Got a trap door here going down into the basement. There's probably something under there and there and there. Otherwise they would have closed it off. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Didn't see that. Okay. Gonna have to add that to our collection. We got this a photo manipulation picture. There is a person right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there is a person right there. There's also a person right there. They didn't manipulate this one, but they did this one and they did this one. There's 3 people manipulated out of that picture right there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you can. That's the shoe, and that's the shoe. A person there, and a person there. And we will continue to look around and see if we see any more, because when you start seeing them like that, you can definitely find more. Yes, yes, yes. There's a person there, and there's a person there and there. So that's 6 people. They did something here, but I can't tell what they did. Let's go this way and look. There's Bossa Man. Look at that big door, 12-foot door. There's a person here, or a horse or something, and there's a person here that they've manipulated out. And, you know, the point isn't that I think they're trying to hide a person for, you know, oh my gosh, that's a person we don't want them to see. It's not that. That's not the point. The point is that I want you to realize that they were very good at photoshopping back in the day. Now you got to understand now, when people saw this photograph, they saw it like I'm showing it right here. This is what they saw. Matter of fact, they would have seen it in much lower quality. It would have been a print. It would have been much lower quality. This is actually super quality compared to what they would have seen. They wouldn't have seen up close. Even if they looked up close, it wouldn't have come out. You can't see the photo manipulation until you have the high resolution glass plate, original glass plate that they actually manipulated. That's the only way you can see it. But my point is that they were very, very, very good at manipulating. And this, we're going to continue tradition this year for Thanksgiving. We're going to do How the Beagle Stole Thanksgiving 2025. And I'm every year what I'm doing is as I go through the year and I find photo manipulated pictures in my searching, I put all the photo manipulated pictures into a folder, and on Thanksgiving I share that folder. And so we're going to continue that tradition, and I'm going to show you those on Thanksgiving. And so if you're looking for a hangout, I don't know what time we're going to do it yet, but that's what I'm doing on Thanksgiving, and that'll be a place for y'all to go. And we're going to actually see some real photo manipulated pictures. A lot of times people show photo manipulations that are I have to say they'll show images of, like, it's like the prints of the photo manipulations. They don't actually show the original glass plate negatives. Like, you're looking at a print and you're saying it looks like it could be photo manipulated. I think it's photo manipulated, but we're not positive, but we think it's no. I'm going to show you the real deal, like this image right here. The whole show is going to be nothing but photo manipulations, where I'm going to one after another. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be fast, and I'm going to pop through it. Got Flat Earth asterisks right here. So I hope to see you all on Thanksgiving. If you don't have nothing to do, it'll give you something to do, and you can come and hang with your people, find your tribe, and we'll have a good day. So, anyways, I'll let you know later to be looking for that, and that's coming up Thursday. This coming Thursday, and we got a beautiful awning here. I love an awning, love it. Those are some really nice flat Earth asterisks right there. And the flat Earth asterisks, to those that are new, if I can, let's see, this one might be a little bit better. The horizontal represents the flat Earth. The vertical, I believe, this is my opinion now. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Mine smells like roses. It has no more smell than a hot biscuit. But the flat horizontal plane of flat Earth and the vertical line, I believe, represents the north and south pole, and the X represents the torus field that surrounds our flat Earth realm that we live in. And that's my opinion, my original opinion. And it's just something I think is possible. I can't prove it. I hadn't been able to prove it. I don't know how I would prove that, but it's just something I think is possible. I see that symbol a lot. And if you start looking for that symbol, and I'm talking about not back then, I'm talking about it all through time. You'll see it in TV shows today, and you'll see it everywhere. When you start looking for it, it'll start popping at you. There's a circumpunct right there. And circumpunct is the original symbol for the creator. We've got an outcropping door. They would have added that because the door was too big, and they made it smaller. Because you can't have the ladies, open and closing 12-foot doors all the time. That's hard. That's a hard door to open and close. That's a heavy door. Arkansas. Oh, okay. I guess I thought it was kind of split up, but I don't think it is. Arkansas Club. Architectural urn. Ether finial. Ether antenna. The mercury ball. Ether finial. Ether antenna. Can you imagine having to be the person that had to go change these flags? I mean, like, forget that. That's no good. Look at the brickwork on that chimney. That's tight. I keep wanting to say this is a heart shape. Every time I see these windows or whatever these are, lattice works I don't know. That's really a very strange get up. Oh, that one's a heart. Huh. It's got a kind of a Moorish look to it in a way. Interesting window. So anyways, nice photo manipulation picture. I need to add that to my collection because I did not catch that one, I don't think. Armory of the Ohio National Guard, Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, and when I checked my folder last week about how many pictures I had, I think I was up in around the 450 images range. And normally this show, I run through 50 images. So just to give you an idea of how many photo manipulated pictures I found this year. Yeah. It's a lot. But that's one of the things I've been known for here on the YouTube is the photo manipulation stuff. Bum, bum, bum. We got, this is, Armory. This is, I think, I'm trying to remember. I think that they tore down most of this building. I think everything, but I can't remember. It's either, I think it's this section is the only thing that's left. I can't remember, but this thing it was humongous. It went all the way back here and then went all the way over here. I mean, it's a big ass building. It's got this mammoth door up in here that you can't see. You go you go through these gates here, and there at the door you go upstairs, and there's this ginormous gate up there. It's really interesting. Unscrubbed cartouche. And portholes here. More unscrubbed cartouches here. Tours fields. This post is really weird to me for some reason. It's got this really strange look to it. I don't know why. Okay. ONC. Ohio National Guard. Okay. I guess some ether tech here. Eagle on the ball representing the Phoenix. My Phoenix. Oh, Lord have mercy. Ether antenna. Started. Ooh, 4 holes. That's a crazy looking building. Look at this part right here. That's really weird, really strange. That's so weird. Big part of the wind catcher there, but that's kind of weird. Etherfenial. Just an amazing building. Why would you tear this down? I just don't get it. Little Mudflood windows down here. Why would you? I mean, you're supposed to be an armory, yet you're going to put windows on ground level. You're going to put a penetration point at ground level on your castle. I mean, what kind of dope have you got to be smoking to build it that way? I mean, you got to have the Meltology stuff. You got to have that heavy duty. I smoked some Meltology weed and got high enough to believe this is a melted building weed. That's what you got to be smoking to put Mudflood windows on a building like this. Porthole, arc light. This building's outside of like the city kind of. It's out down Elucid Avenue, I think, that down that way, if I remember correctly. But why would you demolish this? Like, this is why would this not be part of your historic heritage? Like, Ohio, what are you thinking? What's your problem? I don't get it. Cobblestone Brick Road. No, it ain't melted. Baltimore from Federal Hill. Okay. Hold on a second. Get a little fan here. I got a little tiny fan over here. I like a little air on me here and there. Those big boys need a little air. Ferry boats to all points. He's getting him some firewood. Arc light. Blue fields. That tall ship. I sure hope they remake the Goonies movie, or part two. I hope they do a part two. That was such a good movie when I like y'all. If y'all that weren't born in the '80s, y'all missed out, or not born in the '80s, but if you that weren't growing up in the '80s, the movies back then were so fun. It was a lot of fun to go to the movies. It was just a whole experience. Like you really you felt like you went on an adventure when you went to a movie. It was really cool. Now movies suck. I can't stand watching movies now. They don't make movies anymore, and I know why they don't make movies. You know, your streaming platforms destroyed Hollywood, and the reason being that they people are staying home to watch the movies, or they're waiting for the movies to get to the streaming, and people aren't going out to the movies, and so Hollywood can't afford to make the big, like, good movies. They can afford they'll make the big um you know comic book movies, the bullshit, superhero movies, which I don't know why people like. Come on, how many times are you going to watch Batman, you know, and Robin twist each other's nipples? I mean, it's at some point it's enough. But smokestacks over here. But they can't make any money anymore. Um, and then they shoot everything digitally, which digital sucks ass. It's not film anymore. It's like everything is there's no film has a such a it's like a whole different feel to it. And then the digital movies they're making today are just terrible. They're the quality are just it's awful. Yes, it's crisp and clean and in focus and all that, but that you lose the essence of the movie. It's just they see back then, like everything, if you wanted it, if you wanted the shot to be perfect, you had to get it perfect. So they'd shoot the shot over and over and over again to get it perfect. They'd say the line over and over and over again to get it, just right. And then they would edit it together to make the movie, to make it, better. But now it's like, I don't know. It's so easy to edit. They just don't even care. It's junk. And I get why they went away from it, because it costs it's so hard to make a movie. It's so expensive to make a movie. It really is. But I was thinking about today or yesterday that I was watching that TV series about Houdini, and he was doing this act in a theater, these portholes, and it's one of these fancy theaters with the the side boxes and the just the ornate details, and it just he was up on a stage and everything. And I was thinking, that those were what we would consider the original movie theaters. That the old movie houses. That's where they would show those. But before that, they were, where the vaudeville acts kind of would go. And it was a more up close and personal experience, and that's why they were so elaborate, because it was more of a it's like the environment was part of the stage. Now it's like just the screen is important. That's the other thing. They want a dark room and they want a screen, and they want all the light coming out of the screen, not out of the audience, not out of the side, not out of the chandeliers. Back then, that they didn't have, it was hard to get light, so they needed all the light they could get, so you could light up, you had to light up the whole place. I mean, there was no way to, you had to. I don't know, it's just a different experience. It just made me think of that. I'm rambling on. Rocky Horror. They used to do a Rocky Horror show, picture show in Raleigh that was real popular. I don't know if they still do that at the Rialto Theater. I never went, but it was really popular. This is baseball at Mount Pleasant House, White Mountains. It's like a Japanese flag. That's odd. If their antennas up here. Not the most elaborate structure, but it's large. Got some sort of photo manipulation right there. They've made these marks across here for some reason. I'm not sure why. At their antenna, wind catcher, wind catcher, wind catcher. At their antennas. Place antennas. Looks like a brick building there, maybe. I'm not sure. All right. Got Bathhouse Row, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Bathhouse Row. Oh, that's a new one. Okay. Why is bathhouses? I guess that's strange. Bathhouse Row. Notice for the public, I don't know. I can't read it. That's an interesting window. Nice chimney. At their antenna, diamond symbology. Like a Phoenician wave. Porthole. Wind catcher at their antennas right here and here. Wind catcher. At their fencing up there, it looks like. Hard to tell though. Boss man walking from his bath. Fred's over here somewhere. So they tried to manipulate the photographic company, Detroit Photographic Company, out of the picture here. Right there. Almost looks like they did some hanky-panky right there for some reason. I don't know why. The point isn't, that I'm saying that they're hiding something here. The point is that I want people to understand that they had the capabilities of doing some amazing photographic techniques in editing in these times. I don't think that was a known thing until recently. I don't know, like, if I know it's like in photographic circles, people that study photography, they know this, but I don't think your average, Joe, knows about this. I don't think it's common knowledge. Battle Monument, U.S. Military Academy. Cannon in the ground here. Got a bunch of cannons up here. Stoneball finials. Wow. I bet those were fun to make. Wow. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait. Yeah, I guess 8. Yeah. Total 8. I was wondering if there was one behind there, but I don't think there is. I wonder what this thing represents. Phoenician wave. Got the something wrapped. Wait, what would that be? Reminds me of the fascis, but it's not a bundle of sticks. It's, I don't know, feathers, or I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then we got this memory of the officers and men of the if I could read that word. What is that word? I don't know. I'm not sure. Army of the United States, who fell in the battle during the War of the Rebellion. This monument is erected by the surviving comrades. Yeah, okay. I believe that when my shit turns purple and smells like green sherbet. Stoneball finial. Who's making these finials? These stone balls. I'll tell you what, these things are nice. Check out young lady here with her trumpet. I mean, that is a interesting monument, or ether antenna, as I like to call them. It's a wild looking tree. Gas lamp. I thought that was a man standing there, but I don't know. It's a cannon. It's an upside down cannon. It looked like a man standing there with his arms crossed. Another cannon in the ground. Why are all these cannons in the ground? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you use them as in the ground? Like, they don't have any value at all. Like, even for the metal. Like, I don't know. It seems kind of strange that you would just use them like that. I don't know. Benedict Arnold's mansion at Fairmount Park, Philadelphia, PA. Got a little outhouse here. A weird contraption there. I don't know what the heck that is. It's got some kind of, almost looks like a windmill, but I don't know. It's weird. I don't see the top of it. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Boy, that's old. Look at that. Gosh, that's been there for a long time. Look at how beat that is. That brick. That's old. Wow. Coin. The dairy. Dun, dun, dun. The dairy. Sounds kind of ominous. Mudflood winders, in case you need them. I've seen these before. These are like iron walkway decoration things. You see how that's the back of it. Kind of weird. Mudflood winters over here. NBC peacock. I tell you what, I was going to try to go in and look like I was working today, and I ended up actually working. There's something fundamentally wrong with that. I think on a Sunday you should at least be able to work half speed or quarter speed, something like that, and get away with it. But no, oh no, hey, we could do this, and hey, we could do that. Whew. So I've had my butt kicked today. And then we ran to town, and we need to get some stuff for the farm, and got that. That's weird. A wind catcher, but it's weird at their antenna. That's weird. That almost looks like a glass top to it. I don't know. Hard to say. Bazell Gymnasium, Dartmouth College. Is Haha behaving himself? Anyone? Keep an eye on him. You get squirrely. A distant heat wave came rolling up on the brick. It must have been a X Factor heat wave. That's one of the things about Meltology just kills me, that they can't agree on whether it came from below or above. But it's like, we know it happened, but we don't know if it came from below or above. Like you can't even make that simple determination. Like, and they don't want to, they don't want to go both. No, then they would be agreeing. No, they've got to argue it out. Meltologists are like Christians, how they have different denominations, and each denomination one-ups crazy, and they're always trying to one-up each other. It's hilarious. Oh my God. I know more about them than they know about themselves. They just don't know that. Oh, help them. Mudflood winters down here. I know all about their little cliques and clubs and who's screwing with who and all of it. Mudflood winters across the bottom here. In case you need those on your building. Fancy. Do some fancy brickwork. Little dog tooth there. Interesting little building. Got Bridge Street, Sydney, between 1880 and 1900. 1449 Bridge Street. From Treasury looking west. Check out that light right there. Little trolleys. You know, it's funny to see those trolleys with the being pulled by horses. It is such a like ridiculous idea to believe that they originally decided, oh, we're going to build a trolley and it's going to look like this, and we're going to pull it with a horse. And then immediately after that go, yeah, that's a bad idea. We're going to do it with electric. Oh yeah, we're going to use the same trolley. Like, really? Like, y'all that you think that works? You think that adds up? Like, it's like everything you look into in this early time frame, there's a horseshit narrative somewhere in there. And the deeper you look, the worse it gets. It's like, it's ridiculous. This will be a clock here. Architectural urns at the finial. Oh, man. Those are interesting windows back there. Oval windows. These would be portholes, wind catcher, dome, boss man right here. This is from a different collection, so the quality's not as good. Still cool picture though. Got to give Sydney a shout out here, you know. Say howdy to the Aussies. Glass insulators there. I mean, just amazing architecture that was supposedly built by, you know, prisoners. C&B Line Freight Docks, Buffalo, New York. Boy, that looks very appealing. That water. Took a drink of that. Oh, I don't know what movie this was from, but it was a snippet I saw starring oh god, not Al Pacino, the other guy. Oh crap. Anyways, that famous actor. Anyways, he it's this guy. He goes to the water treatment facility and he's like, you know, hey yo, why is my water brown? And he's like, it's not us, it's not our fault, it's the so and so company. And so the guy goes to this company, this manufacturer, and he's like, yo, why's my water brown? And he goes, you know, basically, you know, it's this reason, you know, and he basically blows him off. And so next thing you know, he grabs and snatches him up and ties him in the back of his car and drags him behind his car. And he said, basically, let me ask you one more time, why is my water brown? And what are you going to do about it? And the guy's like, turn it off, turn this off, and it'll quit it. I was like, man, how many times have I wanted to do that to somebody? Like, how many times have you wanted to like go to the aspartame plant and like grab the head of the aspartame manufacturer and tie a rope around their feet and drag them behind your car? How much fun would that be? I mean, like, drag that motherfucker like a long distance, like across a rock road, like a boom, 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 boom. I mean, let them know you're there, you know. I thought that was great. I know, sick sense of humor. Gen X, so sorry. What's up, GT? Hello, Mr. Isabella. What's going on? And welcome, Michigan Porter. I think I'm saying that right. Get my eyes going here. Eyes are pretty tired tonight. Y'all, it's been a rough week. I've been a whiny little bitch this week. Cleveland and Buffalo line. I've had a hard week. My sciatic nerve in my foot has been giving me hell. It woke up on Friday and chose violence. So I've been dealing with that all week. Anyways, these pyramids up on top of this contraption they got going here. That's wild. I feel like we built these buildings right here. They feel like, to me, like very primitive. They feel like that they're a building that they were. It's almost like they needed to hide something in those buildings that was humongous, and so they built these structures over them, and it's the best we could do. You know that we supposedly can build better than that. I mean, hell, we can. This is better than that. I don't know. It's just strange. Look at all the pollution in that water. How disgusting is that? Oh, gosh. I'm going to be so glad when we get this world cleaned up. Charlestown Navy Yard, Charlestown, Massachusetts. Got a little dinghy hanging out here. Little salesy boat. Tall ship. Arched windows here. Big steam chimney. Look at all the flags on that thing. Like, I'd be like, well, you're from where? Like, I can't tell. You got too many flags, dude. The big door there. Look at that big tall ship. Some of these ships were so big. I think this is a small one compared to some of the big ones, but man, some of them were massive. It's an odd looking building. Got a warship. Got guns on it. All right. Got Chatham Square, New York City. New York City. Got the L. Little street vendor down here. Got Fred coming in. Got a Mudflood drop in right here. Got either grading or pavement light right here. Hard to tell which. Got an outcrop door. Got a Mudflood drop in there. Oh, that's a pretty awning. Awnings make a building look better. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. I mean, look how that awning just really accents the whole building. I mean, really. Water fountain. People and the horses could drink from that. Cobblestone brick road that's not melted. Sorry. Mudflood drop in there. Got a barber pole. Mudflood drop in there. Got something there going on. Not sure what it is. Another Fred over here. A couple more Freds. Fred's a horse to build a mare, in case you're unaware and uninformed. Boats, blimps, trains, all found. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we just found buildings. I think we found a lot. I think we found furniture. I think we found clothing. I think we found a lot. Why is everybody wearing the same clothing? I think they found big clothing warehouses that they basically raided them and started handing out uniforms. You know, back then, clothes were really well made, and it reminds me. I remember it was one of the Eric Blair, George Orwell's stories. I think it was maybe Down and Out in Paris. Not sure. Excellent book if you haven't read it. And he's got this suit or jacket or something, and he continually through the book takes it to the pawn shop and pawns it to get money for the week. And then, like, when he gets paid, he'll go and get his jacket back, but then he'll always go end up pawning it at their cresting here, at their cresting fencing, at their antenna. And but the point of it is that clothing back then had a value, that it was so well made that you could pawn your jacket, and it's not that you got a lot for it, but you like try to go pawn a jacket today, they look at you like you got three heads. But back then, clothing was valuable. It had a value because it was so quality made that it wasn't junk. It wasn't, made in Indonesia or China or whatever third world country is popular today. Fred down here moving. I'd say they're pallets, but I don't know what that is. Almost could be signs. I don't know what they're moving. Another Fred. Cobblestone brick road that's, not melted. Pawn shop. But that the clothing, yeah, they found everything. I think although I will say, I do think that one thing they had a lack of in that time was shoes for children. And the reason I say that, if you look at a lot of these old pictures, when you see children look at their feet, especially the lower classes, a lot of times they don't have any shoes. They couldn't afford shoes. Not that they wanted to run around with no shoes. Believe me, they would love to have shoes. But this is Chestnut Street from 9th Street, Philadelphia. I think they had a lack of shoes. Just a thought. Just something I've noticed. I've seen some weird things about shoes. Like, look at this guy. He's looking at the shoe store, and he's like looking at the shoe store like he's going to go in there and rob him some shoes because he needs some shoes. I don't know. But shoes also back then were something you could go and, like, if your shoe, even I remember this when I was younger, not on like your tennis shoes and stuff, but like your let's say you had a pair of penny loafers. That was a popular shoe, or wingtips was a popular shoe. It was not uncommon to go take them and get them resold. That was like not a big thing back then in my early days. That was just something is, oh, you got a hole in your shoe? Okay, we'll go get them resold. And you take them, and then they would shine them up, and you get them, they'd look like a new penny. It was amazing. But, today everything's, made of, horse shit and aspartame, and they expect you to consume. Arc light. Look at that. Incandescent bulbs up on there. 1881. Clocks are expensive. Wind catcher. Stoneball finial. Some more of these lights. But everything was quality. They didn't make junk. Furniture was quality. Everything. I was talking to a farmer today. Like we were this guy, he's got like, what did he say, 35,000 acres, 30. I don't know if he said 3,500 or 35,000 acres. Well, I think it might have been 35,000. He did a lot of farming. I can't remember. He farmed all kinds of shit. Everything from soybeans to sweet potatoes to cotton to wheat to corn to all kinds of things. And he was talking about he did tomatoes, and he did strawberries. Anyways, we were talking about the ethylene that they spray on the tomatoes, and the chemicals they spray on there. He says, it's just not as good. They're, it ruins the flavor. And he said, but it's really hard. He says he's gotten to where he doesn't do the tomatoes anymore because it's so lucrative. Like, because if you have a bad, like too much rain, it'll mess them up. If it's just really you can lose a crop really quick. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be a farmer. That'd be too much. Cobblestone Brick Road. It's not melted, sorry. Still looking for one. I'll find one day. They swear up and down that Cobblestone Brick Roads melt. So I'm going to find one. Yep, I'm going to find one, young man. I'm going to find one. And when you see this iron railing, look down. Tells you there's something going on. Why would you put this iron railing in front of a building? Why? What would be the purpose of that? That means there's something down below going down. They're protecting it. Protecting you from falling in and suing them. Taurus fields. Got a little potted plant out here hanging out. Portholes. Got Chicago Beach Hotel, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago I tell you what, there's some sorry asses last night. They go to damn light a tree up and everybody starts shooting. I don't know. This world's getting just where you don't even need to go out no more. It's just ridiculous. the stupidity. People don't know how to act anymore. Probably something going on down under this with that grading the way it is. And Fred's standing here guarding. Gaslight. Mrs. Fred over here. Frederica. Wilma. I think some people like to call her Wilma. Might be Frederica and Wilma. Hey, you know, Fred gets around. Yes, sir. That's pretty. There's flat earth asterisks right there. See what I'm saying? How it can be, it can come in so many different forms. It's 8-pointed asterisk. That's what you're looking for. And I call it an 8-point asterisk because that is actually, when you look it up, it's actually the oldest terminology that it seems to be. I wouldn't doubt if it's found that there's older terminology, but the oldest terminology was found by Billy Philly, and it's called Roman lattice. But even that's just an architectural term that was, it's a horseshit narrative thing. I would be more interested in, hearing something before that. I mean, that's a great lead, but I would love to find something that goes back further. Get it away from Roman times. That would be, anytime you can go back further, it's even better, but hadn't been found yet. But he dug and found that diamond symbology. It's a hotel. That's a nice hotel. Chicago got it going on there. This is the same hotel, different shot. That's a nice fence. I like how they did that. Huh. A little bit different. Look at these cheesy sidewalks. Unbelievable gaslight. Fellas in their bikes. Gaslight. Pyramid symbology. Ether antenna. I bet we added this. That doesn't look right. I don't even know what the hell that is. That is I wonder if that's a fire escape. I bet that's a fire escape. You go out the window and then there's a little stair going in. I bet that's a fire escape. I bet that's what that is. I don't know. I bet that's what that is. That makes sense to me. That's a fire escape. I'm calling it a fire escape. I don't know, but I'm thinking that's a fire escape. That's pretty interesting. That little swing, or I think it's a swing, or maybe it's just a covered chair. I don't know. Yeah, high dollar fire escape. I think it was a fire escape. I mean, I can't say for sure, but I mean, what else would it be? A laundry chute? I mean, that would be something they would do indoors, inside the walls. They would use, I think, the laundry chutes were probably utilized. The old wind catcher tunnels were probably used as laundry chutes. I know they used the wind catcher tunnels as for plumbing and electrical. That's why you didn't know where they were. Cottage of J.C. Cabane, Point Ox, Baroques. What? All right, whatever. These people was just hanging out. Ladies in uniform, gentlemen's in boaters' hats. Wow. She fell out the ugly tree and hit every single branch on the way down. Every one of them. Wham, 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 wham. Bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 boom. That was mean. I'm sorry. But aren't they adorable? They're so cute. They look tickled pink with each other. Is that cedar? They leave the bark on the tree? That's odd. Why would you do that? I mean, I think if you leave the bark on it, it attracts bugs. I think that as that rots, that attracts bugs. I don't think it. That's probably a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think that's a great thing to do. I don't know. That's just my knowledge on it. I don't know. What do I know? Delta Kappa Epsilon. What the Epsilon? What the fuck? Who's writing these things? Ann Arbor, Michigan. You say it. Epilepsy. I don't know. What does that say? Epsilon? Epsilon? What the fuck? I am no wordsmith. Never claimed to be. Mudflood winter down here. Mudflood winter down there. Mudflood winter right there. Mudflood winter right there. Scales. Smoking my joint out there on the front porch, hanging out on the fraternity house. See that little piece coming off. Checkerboard design. A little different. That's beautiful stonework. Well, there's melted building. It melted all those bricks and turned them into what looks to be balloon rocks, but the roof did not burn up. The roof stayed just pure and level and true and non-burned up. That must be Superman roofing. Like Charlie Kirk had a Superman neck. I'm sorry. If y'all believe that Charlie Kirk got shot with a 30-06, give me send me an email. And I've got some really, really cheap land in Alaska, I'll sell you. Going for nothing hardly. Down the river, Savannah, Georgia. Okay. Seaboard Airline Railroad. Oh, they got that in Raleigh, North Carolina too. There's a Seaboard building that I've been is part of my Raleigh research. This is just strange area here. Look, it's got this I don't even know if you're going to be able to pick up on this, but there's this it drops down right here. So there's a roadway here. And then they got bridges going across, but it goes all the way down. So there's a road under here, and it's all the way down. It's very strange. And then you got these weird steps going up here. Very strange. Very, very weird area. Fred's just like, I'm gonna get in this corner and hide, and maybe they'll just leave me alone and quit making me move all these bricks in here. Because Fred brought all these bricks here, you know. Fred was responsible. Yep. Look at all those ships everywhere. All those are masts, y'all. Look at all those masts of tall ships. That's amazing. What a time. At their antennas. More tall ships. Wow. I've probably been very close to this area before. There's a trunking tower for possibly telegraph. But it's a trunking tower nonetheless. It's communications of some sort. Just a very strange area. I don't even know how to describe this very well. That's how strange it is. It's very modified, I think is a good word. Got a Fred convention here. Clone of Freds everywhere. Got Forsyth Park, Savannah, Georgia. Got Boss Man there. Just chilling. Little lady down here. Pretty fountain. Some kind of monument back there in the background. Hard to see. Look at that wrought iron fence there. Very expensive and nice. Look at that fella. Was it Mercury? Fort Sumter, Charleston, South Carolina. I've been there several times in my time. You know, it's weird. It looks so much different in this picture than it does in my memory. I wonder why. I'll have to go back and look at that, but I just remember it looking taller. Maybe it's just an illusion from, you know, the perspective of the camera today. I don't know. Well, they say they kicked off the Civil War here. Horseshit narrative. I don't believe in the Civil War. I think the whole thing was a lie I think they needed to get rid of a lot of things, and they made up a cover story to get rid of a lot of things. I think they did get rid of a lot of things. War is a great way to blow shit up. Erase the narrative. the whole concept to me of a fort, any fort, is retarded. Or a castle is retarded. To me, it's retarded because it's just a matter of time and pressure. It's just about a matter of outmaneuvering your opponent. If you're in this, if you've got this fort, right, and you've got it, loaded to the hilt, right, and you can't, get your ships past it because they're bombarding you with cannon fire, right? Well, just wait them out. At some point, they're going to run out of food and they're going to start eating each other, or they're going to surrender, or they're going to run out of fresh water. Okay? Something. I mean, like it's like a fool's errand. So how would you not realize that? It's like these people that build these bunkers. Okay, what's the point? Okay, you've got this bunker underground, okay, and okay, you're protected, nobody can get in. That's all fine and dandy and everything. And you got enough food to last you 10 generations. Fine, whatever. You got enough fresh drinking water and all this stuff and all that. But y'all know how to defeat a bunker. It's the easiest way in the world. You got to have fresh air. You just find the air inlet, which is somewhere near the bunker. Okay. And hell, they could even run a line 400 feet away from the bunker, but somewhere near that bunker, there is something that is coming up and bringing fresh air and then being piped down to the bunker. You find that and you cap that thing. Problem solved. George Court, Lakewood, New Jersey, Gardens and Casino. That's why you'll never catch my ass in a bunker in a grid down, shit hits the fan situation. You give me a K-bar, and that's all I need. You don't need nothing else. You can get whatever you need with a K-bar. This is okay, hold on, back up a little bit. I've got I don't know, 6, 8 images from this spot. I just thought I'd show them all to you at one time just because it's kind of weird. So I don't know what that is. Statue booty. Wow, unscrubbed cartouches. Interesting bench. Got a porthole, diamond symbology, wing catcher, at their finial, little statue up there, at their antenna, at their, or excuse me, porthole. Interesting symbology there. I mean, okay, I'll take a shot. Yes, that could be considered a flat Earth asterisk. It's an 8-pointed star. It's, it qualifies as an 8-point star. So, yeah. Look at this little contraption. They would put a pulley here to hoist up. They'd load the wagon, bring the wagon right here, and then probably hay, maybe a hay loft or something, be my guess. Some big structure back there. It's like a little person running on top of that fountain, maybe. I just thought this was an interesting area. Tartarian lion. Got your fasciste bundle of sticks there. I think that represents the fasciste. I know it's not technically a quote unquote fasciste. This is the same place garden is. This is the same location, but the gardens and casino. Very nice. More statue booty. Who doesn't love a little statue booty here and there? Boss of man. Big eagle representing the phoenix. My phoenix. Bum, 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 bum. There's Fred right there. Still looking for a donkey. Ain't seen no donkeys yet. That's an interesting symbology there. It's wild looking. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's two great big lions right there. Huge things, looks like. Wow. This is the lake at the same location. Like I said, I just thought this was an interesting set of pictures, so I thought I'd show you the whole thing. This is the polo grounds of the same location. Again, it's the Georgia Court, Lakewood, New Jersey. For you polo fans, I had this friend at one time that he's still to this day. He only wears polo. Looks like a little electric car right there. He only wears polo clothing. Everything: socks, pants, belts, shirts, ties, hats, scarves, sweaters, coats, jackets, suits, anything. If he's wearing it, it's got a polo on it. Like he doesn't wear it unless it's got polo on it. And it's like the guy's like obsessed with polo. And like I've never seen anything like it. But I mean he's just polo underwear. I bet he has polo shoes. I don't know, but I bet he has polo shoes. I've never seen like he's got. I know he had a polo skateboard. He had all this. Many where was one time we went to the mall, and this was when we were in our 20s, and we were walking through like one of the department stores, and this is in the 90s, and if you remember in the 90s, the department stores were really popular here in America. This is the same location. This is the stables, Tartarian line. Hold on, baby, just a minute. I'm telling a story. Got unscrubbed cartouche with a lion on it, and hush. And we walked past the cologne station or this cologne section, and there was this big, ginormous, just gigantic just polo bottle like cologne display, and it must have been 16 to 18 inches tall, and it was like a real polo cologne bottle, but it was like a display, like like an advertisement. Hush, honey. And it was incredible. And we're gonna have to take a break. Check out these lights right here, really cool. we're gonna have to take a break because somebody's getting crazy. And I said, damn, Bailey, look at that polo bottle, because I knew he would like it. And I kept walking, and then he goes, "I'll be right back." And I'm like, "What? I gotta go. I'll meet you at such and such a store." And I just kept walking. And when he came, met me at the store, and then we were walking back out of the mall, and I said, "Hey, did you see that awesome polo cologne bottle?" He's like, "I didn't see no bottle. I didn't see no bottle." "You didn't see that bottle?" "No, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no bottle. Where was this at? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Okay, I don't know." And I looked around for it. I'm like, "Well, I thought it was over, and I thought we were passing right by it again. I didn't see it." I said, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe we came in a different way or something. I was so confused. Anyways, we got home, and he opened up the trunk of his car, and he pulls out. He had taken that massive polo bottle. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I couldn't believe he did that. Polo. I mean, I don't know. Some people, they just got to have certain things in their life. I don't know, but I never thought I never had a care for polo. But all right, let me find you something for y'all to look at while I go and take Mr. Hollery McGee here to hey, 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 hey. All right, we'll be right back. Okay. All right. Sorry, folks. Took a little while. When I was getting ready to head out, Muddin decided to jump in my lap, and it hit my arm, and somehow, some way, I miraculously created a separate desktop screen, and like everything on my StreamYard got all wonky and wacky and loopy doopy, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Beagle's a menace. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. We're back. And we may or may not have gotten into the cantaloupe. We'll never know. And we'll never tell. How's everybody doing? Okay. Alrighty. Let's see if we can get back into this. Yeah. Get my little doodads. Yeah. Alrighty. And I think we were on this picture when we left. Go to the next one. Again, this is Georgian Court, Lakewood, New Jersey, the stables. Some Phoenician fish on these urns, intertwined. These lights are very interesting. Very interesting. I like those. Stoneball finials. I don't know what that is covered in. That's interesting. A little etheric antenna there. Got a clock with 4 1s for the number 4, so that's for you Mandela affected people. Is that maybe Mercury? I don't know. On the finial. Another etheric finial there. Little stained glass style windows. This is the same. This is the stables. Different angle. Very nice. It's just an interesting pattern here. I wonder how they did that. That's neat. Look at these little windows going up the tower. The wind catcher. There's those lights again. Very nice. Arches. And there's more arches back there. All right, this is the same location. I guess this is the main house, I guess. Tartarian lion. I believe that's a lion. I don't, it's a little weird looking there. I guess it's a lion. North Carolina, where I live, has a lot of these pines. We're known for North Carolina pines, and they look just like this. And you get high winds, and they come a toppling. They do not do high winds. They have crap for root structure. I mean, you could, okay, just so you know, what you see on a tree up above is what's below. So all this right here, if you mirror that below, is the root structure. But you look at, say, this tree here, and you see how much wider it is. That means its root structure is going out further. But a pine tree has a very narrow root structure. And so, you know, when the wind gets going, because these are 60 feet tall at times, and when the wind gets a going, it takes nothing to knock them over. So anytime we get like a hurricane or something, those things just come toppling down like nothing. Nothing. And they suck because they're not good firewood. And if you don't get them up, the bugs just eat them up and they rot. Horrible damn things. I don't know. Everybody loves pine trees though. They do smell good. Pine smells good. But not my favorite tree. Grand Central Station Depot, New York City. New York City. And we got some pavement light. Pavement light is glass sidewalk that allows light down into the basement. So that is what I consider a mud flood cover-up operation. In case you need one of those. And these are prism lights. These are glass prisms that the light would come down through these, and then it would have little prisms on it. And it would shoot the light back into the store. Kind of wild. Got all that pavement light there. Check out my boy's top hat right here. Putting on the Ritz, man. Putting on the Ritz. Trap door with pavement light. Notice the pavement light. Got a trap door there. Not sure what's there. Got a trap door here. Lady in uniform. There's Fred. Got a flat earth asterisk right here. Got a arch below ground level right here. So there's probably arches all along the side here. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. Having a good time hanging out with your tribe, your peoples. I'm just here for entertainment. Y'all are here to, keep each other company and shoot the shit and talk to your friends and do that. Somebody asked me today, I just mentioned in passing that I'm going to do a live stream tonight. And they knew I did live streams. They're kind of like, oh, and they were kind of like, I forget what they said, but it was basically kind of like, and how many people are going to be there, like kind of like, and nobody's going to show, right? And I thought, and I said, if you only knew, and what I meant by that wasn't that there's like 1 million people coming or anything like that, because I don't have a lot of people come and watch my live streams. That's not the point. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. Okay, I would much rather hang out with just a few people and do a live stream and talk about this stuff with people that are awake, aware, that are interested in alternative history, in old world, in photography, in Mudflood, in Tartaria, in alternative theories, alternative thinking, different ways of looking down the telescope. I would much rather hang out with just a few of you people than, 1,000 sheep, any day. It's just so much better because those people, they're so unconscious. They like talking to them is just like, it's exhausting because it's like they don't hear you. It's like they're there, but they're not listening to you. They think that they're intellectually, because you have these conspiracy thoughts that you're some kind of nut that you shouldn't be taken seriously. And it's like, you dumb fuck, don't you realize you're the idiot? But you can't say that to them because then they get all offended and they get their panties twisted, and You know, it's just no, it's not worth it. But y'all all know what I'm talking about. It's like, you know, that's flat Earth asterisks. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. If you connect those points, it's an 8-point asterisk. Torus field. Wow, look at that pediment there. That wow, that's pretty wild. I can't tell you what's going on there. But that's pretty interesting. Eagle on the ball representing the Phoenix. Let's look at this clock. Got a clock with 4 eyes for the 4. So that's for you Mandela affected folks. I'm sorry, it was IV when I was younger. I'm telling you, everything was IV. Always was. That's what they taught us in school. But it wasn't just that. It was everything was IV. I never even like saw 4 ones for Roman numerals until people started talking about Mandela effect. And I'm like, that's not true. That's not right. And I started, you know, noticing it in the pictures I was looking at. I'm like, and I'd see one, then another, then another, then another. And then it was like, I started realizing I was seeing far less 1 IVs than I was 4 eyes. And then I was like, damn, that really is a Mandela effect. Like that one, that's definitely 100% legit. Too legit to quit. Mandela effect. I'm gonna sing. I should patent that song. Y'all know I could rap, did you? I should lay y'all rap out one night. I know one rap, y'all. Well, I memorized one rap when I was in high school, just for shits and giggles, just as a party joke. And I still have it memorized today, but it is raunchy. I mean, raunchy. Like, we'd have to send the women and children away because y'all be rioting. Look at those portholes. See, open and closed. So that's part of the wind catcher. But I could do a pretty cool rap right now with my eyes closed. Like, so you know that I'm not reading off the teleprompter kind of thing. And it blow your mind because you're like, damn, Beags can rap. Holy shit. But I only know the one rap. But I know it and I'll tear it up. Matter of fact, the party joke wasn't just to do the rap. The party joke was to do the rap fast. Like I could do it. I could used to do it faster, but I could still do it fast today. Because it was like wow, that's pretty impressive for white boy. White boys don't know how to rap. This is before Eminem, y'all. I'm original Eminem. Y'all didn't know that, did you? I'm just talking shit now. We got Snowball Fennials, Pine Cone, representing the penile gland. In case you get your penile gland all decalcified. There's some penile calcified son of bitches running around, y'all. I'll tell you what. That's all right. Things are starting to change. Those are some pretty awnings. I just can't get over how just good looking those awnings are. This dude's hat right here is just that dude. That's not it. That's not the look. Sorry. Got trolleys. Freds everywhere. That's a pretty Fred right there. Okay. What else we got? Grant Hall U.S. Military Academy. Looks like we got some more cannons sticking in the ground. 1897. Mudflood winders. More Mudflood winders. More Mudflood winders. Just ridiculous that you would build like that. I'm sorry. I wonder if that was originally a window. I don't know. Hard to tell. I mean, the stone looks the same. I don't know. But I mean, what if they took some stone off of something else that they took apart and filled this up? I don't know. Alrighty, we got Greenwood's suburban resident, Savannah, Georgia. All right, so it's like that. They got some kind of weird little landscaping thing, doodads, bushes, things. Look at this big old greenhouse. Oh wow. Reminds me, I was talking to my boss today, and he's like, "Yes, I've been thinking we need to build a bigger peacock house." And like the peacock house is already big. And I'm like, "How big?" He's like, "I don't know, like double the size." I'm like, "Oh crap!" So we gotta build a new peacock house. I can't keep up. I got so many projects right now. I don't even know. I'm lost. Absolutely lost. I like literally have to set priority. Like I'm basing the priority of what I build based on like who can benefit the most from what I build. Not like it's like the boss will want to do this or that or that or this, and I'm like, yeah, but these, animals need this and that and this and this. He's like, yeah, all right, yeah, do that. Because it's like he gets these ideas in his head, but he doesn't realize I'm 15 ideas deep. Oh, I'm starting to build goat houses this past week. I started to. So that's what my next project. It'll be just like he wants me to build the goat house just like I built the emu house, but smaller because he liked the emu house so much. So I'm building that. I'm gonna build 3 of those right now. Well, they're gonna be different, but it's the same principle. They're gonna have different 2 sides as opposed to one, and a little bit different. Look at these trees that are cut off. I find that a lot. Why do they do that? They they go up these trees and they cut them off. Wow. I don't understand. Portholes. It's a weird building. We got Knox Battery U.S. Military Academy. Some big cannons for you. I don't know what the hell the cannons were. I've yet to hear somebody tell me what a cannon was, and I was like, yep, that's it. That's what they were. I haven't heard that yet. Heard some interesting theories, but I haven't heard anybody nail it yet, in my opinion. Y'all might have an opinion. And I know somebody's going to go, they're plumbing. Maybe they are, but I still have not seen enough evidence on that to make it, real in my mind. Man, you imagine that landing on your noggin? Kaboom! Check out this little stone. This would be where they keep the powder to protect it. can't imagine how much that weighs, how hard that would be to get, set up there. There's a funny story. I don't remember the story behind it, but there's a funny story. Something weird there. Funny story. I think it was at Fort Macon. Is that the one that's down the fort? It's Fort Macon. The one down at the Keys, at Key West, south of the Keys in Florida. And they were something about that, how the cannons were so big they had a lot of trouble getting them into place to do the museum. And there's just a funny story about how they had so much trouble getting those into place. I forget the story, and they gave up or something. Like it was like, yeah, we got a few up here, and then we gave up because it was like so incredibly difficult that they couldn't figure out. Like they just couldn't do it. Like I don't even remember if they got them in place or not. There's something like that. Maybe y'all remember what I'm talking about. Lungs of the world. So you think cannons are lungs of the world? Oh, trees. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't catch the first sentence. I'm reading your sentences backwards. So y'all need to start writing your sentences backwards. Oh, this is a vanilla skied image. In case y'all need that. And you can see that's been cut out right there. And there, all the way across. And then the tree's been cut out. Oh, yeah. I remember getting this one and putting it into the folder. So I've already got this one. You can see the vanilla sky around there. So this is 100% confirmed vanilla sky. And here again, see, there's your vanilla sky. You got, the guy who got his head kind of half chopped off because he got vanilla sky. He got partially vanilla skied. Well, see, the ninny squad will tell you, oh, no, this is a chemical process. Now, in their defense, even though they're idiots, there is a chemical process that will change the background, okay? But that's changing the background. That's changing what the background looks like. That's not what we're talking about. When old world researchers, okay, legit old world researchers are talking about vanilla sky, we're talking about skies that have been removed. Okay? Physically removed. Not chemically removed, physically removed. Okay? And there's a big difference between a physically removed background and a chemically removed background. But see, the ninny squad was trying to make us look like idiots, like we didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. And in reality, the ninny squad, fucking idiots. Old City Gate, St. Augustine, Florida. And let's see these little fellas, how they're doing. This fellow looks pretty happy. This one looks like he's got the sun in his eye, but he looks pretty happy. And look, no shoes. It's a very weird thing. If you look at the kids back in the day, a lot of them had no shoes. And I don't think it's because they didn't want shoes. I think there was a problem. I don't think it was just they couldn't afford shoes. I think there was for some reason, I think there was a problem getting shoes. I don't know what the problem was. It's just something I've run across. And look at this Moorish looking thing. Cymatic patterns. That's trippy. I mean, that's straight out of, that's that's very Moorish. This Castle, Florida. In case you know Castle in Florida. Why not? Who doesn't need a castle in Florida? Looks like that might have been brick underneath, maybe. Hard to tell. Very interesting. On the Western Promenade, Portland, Maine. I've been to Portland, Maine. I don't remember looking like this, but been there nonetheless. I'll never forget going to Portland, Maine, and all I wanted to do was get, Maine lobster, because that's, it's Maine. You go get lobster. I thought that was the thing. I remember going in this little lobster shack, and it was just a beautiful area, right on the coast, and there was a lighthouse and just a wonderful little location, little dive, beachside lobster shack place. It was just great, my kind of place. Simple. I like simple. I think simple is you can enjoy yourself more. So I go in there and I got me lobster, whatever plate. I don't know what you call it, but I don't know. It's just lobster, I guess. And I remember eating that, and I remember it was the first time I'd had lobster like that, And I'd had lobster that was cut up and in on things, but I'd not had like real live lobster that they cooked right there. Anyways, and I thought I got done eating, and I guess it was this guy. This guy had been watching me, and he could tell I was not from around town. I'm sure I didn't look like I was. And he said, "Son, how was the lobster?" I said, "Oh, it was pretty good." He goes, "Wasn't enough, was it?" I said, "Oh, no, it was really good." He goes, "No, it wasn't enough food." And I said, "No, it was kind of skimpy." I said, I thought it would be more." He goes, "You should try the clams." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I thought he was talking about in North Carolina, like when somebody says, "Would you like clams?" or you order clams, they're these little crappy rubbery like droppings of a clam. They're like ugh, they taste like clam, but it's just crap. I thought, yeah. I was kind of like, he goes, "No, son, you need to try the clams. They're really, really good, and that's really what we should be known for." And I said, "Okay." And I just the way he said it, I just felt like the guy was like straight up legit. And so I went up and I ordered the clams, fried clams, and I got the clams, and they were huge, freaking huge things, and they were so good. So if you ever go to Maine, don't order the lobster, get the clams. They're out of this world. At their finial here. Florida Lee. There's another clock with 4 eyes as the 4 for you Mandela affected folk. At their finials here and here. And here. Check out that chimney. And that chimney. And that ether finial. Yeah, all in all, Maine was really cool. I spent about a week in Maine one time doing some shows, and it was just really a quite nice place to be. But don't go there anytime other than the summer, because they say the weather is just brutal otherwise. It's not, you don't want to go. It's not a touristy place any other time. It's like 3 months of the year. It's like the only time you ever want to go there. But I suggest it. It's definitely a fun place to go. Ordnance Museum Academy Hall, U.S. Military Academy. So we're gonna get to see some cut your freaking head off hardware stuff. All right, good. Oh, I need me one of them Gatling guns right there. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Bang, bang, boom, boom. Yeah, pew, 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 pew. I need one of those. I don't know what this thing is. What's that? Some kind of bomb? I don't know. Them Gatling guns are badass. I need one of those. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that one. Bam, 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 bam. Boy, I tear something up with that. I don't know what this thing is. That's a contraption if I've seen one before. I wonder if that's like a water mine or something. Look at the cannons in the glass there. Oh, that's creepy. Very creepy. Muskets. This was a thing. I've seen this quite a few times around the world of these weaponry rooms. No admittance unless accompanied by an officer. Models must not be handled. You don't want your fingers, your oils on your fingers on those weapons. Look at those swords. Man. Was that kind of like a Winchester? Look at that. Yeah, some good stuff there. Sorry, us Americans have a affection for weaponry. It's just in our blood. So we've always, been told to keep our arms because it's the best form it's to keep the government honest, to an extent, because if you didn't have any ability to pick up arms against your government, they could just literally take you over overnight. Well, the reason they don't do that with America is they know that if we ever picked up arms, it'd be on like Donkey Kong. This is Orodox, Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, there is a it would be. Let's just put it this way: the American public is not afraid of the U.S. military. Okay, the dumbed down sheeple public are afraid of the U.S. military, but the actual you know armed populace is not afraid of the U.S. military, because a gun's a gun. It doesn't matter if it shoots 50 rounds a minute or 1 round a minute. It depends on who's behind that gun. If you can shoot, you can kill. I mean, it's that simple. Oriental Hotel, Manhattan Beach, New York. That's just a nice picture. Got this couple out here having a day out. Lady in uniform. I'm pretty sure that's not a natural figure. think there's some false advertising going there. Oh my God, I saw this thing. I about died. This kid, he was, there was, I don't know, these, you know, these people put these little clips up from movies. You don't even know what movie is, but it's like great clips, you know. But it's this clip of these two kids. One was older than two boys, and one was older than the other. And the one older boy shows a picture of, he says, "Hey, look, this is my girlfriend." Shows him a picture of his girlfriend, and the kid looks at the girl, and they show the picture of the girl on the screen, and she's one of these women that has her, like, she's got like all this plastic surgery and the Botox, you know, lips that look like they're big tires on her mouth. And the guy says, "Ah, okay. What's wrong with her lips?" He's like, "What do you mean what's wrong with her lips?" He's like, "Well, I knew a girl in school and she got some kind of um uh um allergic reaction, and her lips did that. Did she get allergic reaction?" Ah. Ladies, y'all got to quit getting that Botox shit. I don't know how that got started, but y'all got to stop that shit. Orphan House, Charleston, South Carolina, and the nose rings. Get rid of the nose rings. The nose rings are X nay on the nose rings. Any kind the any nose hardware is got to go, and mouth hardware and nose hardware that immediately has to go. Y'all got to get rid of that. I mean, y'all. I don't. This is Orphan House in Charleston, South Carolina. I don't know. I don't think y'all realize how bad that looks. It really makes you. It just just get rid of it. Just do it. Non-melted brick road. Oh, got some griffins for you. In case you want some griffins on your Mudflood building. Yeah, I don't get the whole, you know, plastic surgery and fake this and fake that thing. Oh, I love these kind of roofs. It's so cool. I don't get it. I don't understand why a woman wants. Look, if you're not beautiful, okay. Some people are beautiful. Let's be honest. Some people are beautiful. Some people are not beautiful. It's just your lot in life. Okay. I'm not Brad Pitt. This is just facts. It's the facts I've come to live with. It's facts I've come to understand. I'm not Brad Pitt. I ain't no Tom Cruise or Tom Selleck or whoever the hell else y'all think is hot. Okay. I ain't that dude. Okay. I'm okay with that. This is just some horseshit narrative thing right here, I think. But the wind catcher. But look, it this fakeness that our society has put on to women, where they cover themselves in this Queen Elizabeth level of makeup. Y'all got to stop that. It does it's look. It doesn't matter what's here. If you're not inside a beautiful person, it doesn't matter how pretty you are outside. Okay, because at some point, whoever you're trying to attract, man or woman, they're going to find you out. If you're ugly inside and beautiful outside, they're going to find you out. If you're ugly outside and beautiful inside, they're going to find you out. So, beauty is it's not a physical trait. beautiful people come in all forms, in all sizes, in all colors, races, creeds. It's internal. It is your soul beautiful. That's what's important. Not the makeup, not the Botox lips. Ostrich Farm, Hot Springs, Arkansas. In case you need an ostrich. Ostrich booty. Ostrich booty. You want to buy an ostrich? That's just a cool picture. Visitors are not allowed to touch these birds. They are dangerous. Keep away from the fence. Yeah. I've heard they can be wild. Yeah. And I think they need a higher fence than they got them in. I think they can jump that fence. Parliament Buildings, Nassau, Bahamas Islands. That's a pretty little girl hanging out here watching us. Interesting how they use a hook there. Using what they had, I guess. Interesting, the chain work there. Look at that light. Interesting. Japan cone. So pointing out your pineal gland. Porthole. Big shutters on the windows for the these are for hurricanes. These are protection against the hurricanes because the hurricanes are so violent. I wonder why they don't have them on this one. Interesting. Maybe they have something else they use. This one has them. Very important in that area. There's another interesting light. A bunch of Spanish moss there. We got Parliament Building in Quebec. Hello, Miss Sherry. Haven't seen you yet. Hello, Canterbury. And hello, Odin's Raven. How y'all doing tonight? Got a arc light there. Got their antennas up here. Got their finial. There's a clock. Clocks are expensive. Florida Lee. Got their antenna. Oh, I didn't post it this week, but Oak Island this week they found some more Phoenician beads, glass beads, and they found a Roman coin. Something else they found. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, they're always finding just the damnedest things on that island. Absolutely incredible. They were drilling down. They're trying to got 4 ones on the clock. It looks like to me 4 ones. Hard to tell on that one though. Porthole. This other fencing here and cresting and finial and antenna. they're trying to, they've got this drill operation they're doing in the money pit where they're drilling and taking core samples, trying to determine an X marks the spot. And basically what they're doing is they're trying to bring something up that says definitively this spot is like, if you put a hole right here that you're going to find, it's going to lead you to something important. Now they have found artifact after artifact after artifact. I mean, just unbelievable things. But what they're looking for is something to come up that is like a gold coin or a silver coin that is 200 feet deep, and because it would absolutely have no reason to be there. And so they're trying to narrow it down, because what they're planning on doing is a major dig operation where they dig a massive hole, and it's going to be very expensive, millions of dollars. And it's kind of one of these things that they want to, at the very least, know that if they start digging here, that within that area, that it is, you're going to be very close to where you need to be. So they're trying to get an X on the ground, and they're getting close, but it is so complicated. I mean, just an example, they found out this week that where they thought that the solution channel that they've found was so many feet deep, they realize now it goes another 30 to 40 feet deeper than they thought that it went in places. And that's a big deal when you're 200 feet down. And so it's a big deal. Anyways, I highly suggest Oak Island. If you really want to understand Oak Island, you should watch the show from season 1 forward, and take it all in, because it's there's so much there's so much history and so much has been found that it's impossible for me to give it like to you. There's so much, you just don't even understand how much. I mean, they've already blown past Columbus discovered America. I mean, like, yeah, we proved that. Yeah. We've definitely proved that there was, activity here well before Columbus. Like, Columbus who? Like, they've already busted that narrative, Oh, this is St. John's Cathedral in Savannah, Georgia, in case you were wondering, in case you cared. Look at this Vescopisis wrought iron fencing here. These big old doors here. Got a nice rose window. Very pretty. It's interesting. Very nice. Wind catcher. Oh, official vanilla sky photo. Can you see the etching there? And they've cut into the cross here. That's an official vanilla sky. I don't know if I got this one in my list. I'll have to add this. Wow. Yeah, definitely. Going down the edge. I don't know if I got this one or not. I'll have to make sure I get this into the collection. Oh yeah, look at the electrical lines going across here, and they just end. That ain't chemical process. Ninny squad. Well, that's a chemical process, David. Them old world researchers, they're stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. This is a chemical process. Really? What are you smoking? Fucking idiots. Look at that. Does that look chemical to you? It might if you're smoking the right stuff, I guess. I mean, what do I know? I don't know. Some of y'all might know. GT, what's going on? Tell us the truth. Is that chemical process or is that etching? Is that etching work there? That one looks like they etched the stonework out. Chemical process. Hell, they chemical processed out the tree. God, gotta hate when that happens. Y'all, look at that. That's chemical process. They chemical process the trees. Yeah, so you can see how the chemical takes out the trees right there. You can see it. It chemically dissipates the trees. That's just a chemical process, y'all. What do you think of that? Take that, Ninny Squad. Oh, God. Oh, is this? Kind of looks like, it kind of looks like the kind of tree I got in the front yard. It looks very much like the tree I got in the front yard. I don't know what they call it, but it's a bit. The one we have is much, much bigger than that. This is like the one we have is like a probably 5 feet around and about 60 feet tall. It's huge. Yeah, I don't know if maybe I did. I don't know. I don't remember if I got this one or not. I have to make sure I get it in there. I definitely make sure I get the photos in there that are photo manipulated. Very important. This is State Library, Richmond, Virginia. Got a muddy little hill here. Boss man here. Ceric light. Bricks, bricks, and more bricks. Got some, I could make a case that's a flat earth asterisk. I sure could. I mean, you got the horizontal here, right? And you got, the vertical here and the X. I mean, I'm calling it flat earth asterisk. Just saying. Woo, look at that awning. That's a good, See, the awnings just really make the building pop. It's like saggy underwear. Really makes you look good. Oh, I like it seeing these, the brick columns. So cool. Tourist field. Portholes. That could be a flat earth asterisk. Not positive. Wow. What the world? Look at that. They got lines tied to this tree. Look at that. Are they using a tree as an electrical line pole? Look at that. What the hell? Or what are they doing there? Or is the tree falling over and they're trying to keep it upright? What are they doing there? What's weird is you can't you see, like, where are all these lines going? Like, the lines are going everywhere. That's odd. I don't know. Got me on that one. Yeah, that's a flat earth asterisk. In case you need one in. In case you need to know what realm you're in. Got a niche with nothing in it again. And a Phoenician shell top to it. That's a nice building. I like it. More wrought iron fencing there. Got the yellow brick road here. Got the Cathedral, St. Augustine, Florida. Smoking in my joint. Don't lie, I know half of y'all are smoking joints right this minute. I'm on to you. I see you. She's high as hell. Look at her. Grinning ear to ear. Woo! There's Fred. Taurus Field. Big ass storm. Butter Hat Man. Palm tree. Porthole. See how it opens? That's a wind catcher window there. See how it opens? There's something about the way they open on a pivot point as opposed to a raise and lower like a normal window. There's something about these pivot points, the way they work, that help with the way the air flows through the window. So maybe somebody can understand like airflow technology that I don't understand, but that's why they're like that. And that's how you know, like this isn't a wind catcher window because it goes just up and down. Oh, got something in the niche here. Probably horseshit narrative stuff. That's okay. Everybody needs something to believe in. And we got clocks are expensive with 4 eyes as your 4, which just don't understand, but got nothing in the niche here. Got wind catcher here. Little obelisk up here. We've added a cross to these. Got a break in the glass plate there. I don't think it's vanilla sky though. Doesn't look to be. But then again, you have to understand that the best way to tell. Okay, I've seen buildings that are like this that look vanilla. That it can look vanilla skied, and it's not vanilla skied. But then also it can, they can do like most of the time they were sloppy about it. But every now and then you had somebody that was really good, I think, and they could really do a good job of it. Where you want to look is at like stuff that's natural, if you can, like trees, because they had a hard time with those. They didn't do those well. And also backgrounds, because they wouldn't spend as much time on the backgrounds. Got Lakewood, New Jersey, or the Lakewood, excuse me, the Lakewood, Lakewood. And we got a nice sidewalk here. Nice 2x6 sidewalk, in case you need that. That's a good looking sidewalk. If I've ever seen a sidewalk. Got these benches here. Somebody took some LSD and made some chairs and stuff. Looks like, I would say. Porthole at the pinion. At their antenna with mercury ball, wind catcher. Some nice details there. Dog toothing. Little decoration there. Little Mudflood looking winter things there. All right. And we got Laurel in the Pines, Lakewood, New Jersey. Got Fred over here. Mudflood winders, more Freds. Arch winders and doors. More Mudflood winders. A lot of coinage with a Q. Coin with a Q. These big chimneys. Porthole, Phoenician shell. Porthole. This dome right here. Pretty cool. Taurus fields. Porthole. Top hat looks like. Hanging out. And I do believe that's it for images this week, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that. I sure did. Hope you guys have been having fun. We're trying to make this a regular occurrence, as you can see. So far so good. It's a good thing. It's good for me. It's a nice break up to my week. So I've been enjoying that. Camera does weird sometimes. I don't know why. I haven't rightly figured that out why it does that. But one last thing. Just to kind of a note here on I keep hearing these people that are the illegals whining and complain about getting deported and sent back to China or where the fuck they came from, and they're bitching and moaning, groaning, saying who's gonna pick your crops and who's gonna build your houses and who's gonna mow your lawn and who's gonna do you this and who's gonna do you that. Well, let me put it to you this way. Americans built this country, and Americans will keep this country going. Is it true that we have been benefiting in ways from the illegal migrant labor? It's a perspective that depends on how you look at it, really. See, America was born on the American colony was born and based on slave labor. Okay, that's no secret. Of course, that goes deeper. That's a whole nother story, but that's not actually how it was started. But that's another day. But for economics 101, we were built on a slave economy. at some point, we decided that that wasn't the right thing to do, thank God. And we, abolished slavery. And then what happened was that we still had to get the crops picked, and we still had to get the work done. So the poor classes started doing these jobs of all, races and colors and creeds and whatever. And the problem is that America, you've got this idea of the American dream where everybody can make it. It's horseshit. Okay. Just to, squash your bubble. But the American dream is a fallacy. Okay. Can you make it in America? Yes, you can, but more than likely, most of you gonna fail. It's just the way it is. Is it right? No, it's not right. But it is the way it is. And so what happened was you had these people that took over for the slaves, your black people, your white people, your immigrants from all nationalities that started taking these jobs. And as they came up, they wanted better houses, better clothes. They wanted better. And so they wanted more money and more money and more money. And the prices increased, housing increased and everything increased in value and like the cost of everything. And at some point, the rich, realized that, they had to do something. And so they started letting in the illegals to come in. Basically, they sold them this lie that they could come into our country and work and make a lot more money than they were making there, and that it would be the land of milk and honey. And so what these people do is that there's a whole network, a whole idea, a whole it's not just people trickling or deciding to go from Mexico to America. They're actively campaigning to get people to go to America. And they're saying, you go here and when you get there, we'll set you up with this, and we'll set you up with housing and job and this and that and that and this. We'll get you here. We'll get you to this city. We'll get you anywhere you want to go. Where do you want to go? And then these people come and they shack up, a bunch of them in one. They'll rent one house and they'll have, a 2-bedroom house with 30 people in it. And then they go in and they, for their food, they go in and they put all their money together for food, and they make these they go in together on everything, and they work together. They buy one car and they pile 10 amigos in the car and drive to work. And they work together to cut down on the cost to where it costs them barely nothing to live. And then the businesses they work for, they'll go in and they'll put 2 amigos on a one-man job, and they'll charge half of what the American worker was charging. And so now they come in and it looks like they're hard workers. They're not hard workers. Okay? They don't work any fucking harder than anybody else in the whole world. I'm sorry, Chinese people work just as hard as a Mexican works, and a Mexican works just as hard as a German works, and German works just as hard as an American works. It's everybody, every race, color, creed can fucking work. Okay? Doesn't matter where you're from if you work better or not. What the Latin people do is they come and they'll put two men to one job, charge half price. Then the American worker can't work for that. They're like, hell no, I'm not picking crops for half price and it double. And you've got two guys on one and they can obviously pick twice as fast as I can. And then they'll say, well, we're taking the jobs that they don't want. What the fuck are you talking about? No, I don't want a job where I'm going to have to work, twice as hard as you are because you're charging half as much and you got two guys. No, I don't want that job. You're right. And then they don't pay the taxes. They don't pay. They suck up the resources. They get freebies from the government. They get health care. They get all this stuff. They can fucking vote. It's ridiculous. They've even figured out how to get driver's licenses, and they drive around with these fake driver's licenses. They can get social security cards, fake social security cards, fake licenses. They can get fucking bank accounts with this stuff. They're over here living high on the hog, and they have so much money because they're making a ton more. To them, they're making a killing compared to what they were making, back in their third world fucking countries. And then they're sending their money back home and they're enriching their economy. Okay, so they're coming out here, destroying our economy, sending the money back home, enriching their economy. They need to go back fucking home and work on their fucking economy. And we'll work on our fucking economy. We'll pick the fucking crops. We'll build the fucking houses. Okay, we'll can the fucking goods. We're Americans. Now here's the rub. Okay, here's the part where it's going to piss you off. Not y'all, but the people it's going to piss off. The problem is not ultimately illegal immigrants. The problem is the rich that are hiring the illegal immigrants. Okay, what's going to happen is they're going to have to hire American. They're going to have to pay a living wage. They're going to have to cut in their paycheck. Why does a CEO of a corporation need to be making, I don't know, $500 million a year? What the fuck are you doing with $500 million a year? What are you doing with $300 million a year? What are you doing with $100 million a year? Why does any person, man, woman, need that much money per year in pay? What the fuck makes you so important? Who the fuck do you think you are? Do you have any idea how much your people make? Your people that actually do the work? So here's what's going to have to happen. The rich are going to have to get off their salaries. I mean, dramatically. Okay. And I'm not saying that they can't reinvest their own personal money and make money. Their money makes money. Okay. They don't need a big paycheck. Do they deserve a good paycheck? Sure. Okay, fine. I can understand that. But at some point, I don't know what that point is, but I think we need to have a mandatory cap of corporation head, or just a cap, a salary cap. I think we need a salary cap. And I'm not talking about $100,000. I'm talking about, we need to be reasonable about it. But I mean, come on, I've seen some of these salaries. They're astronomical. For what? What the fuck do you need all that money for? Are you Scrooge McDuck? I mean, what the Elon Musk motherfucker, what the fuck do you need all that money for? Dude, come on. Like, Pay your people. Jeff Bezos, pay your people. Walmart, pay your people. It's just bullshit. So, illegal immigrants, go to fuck home. We're done. ICE here is telling. I'm telling you that ICE ain't even checking your IDs anymore. They don't even fucking care if you look brown and you speak Spanish, or you just brown. I'm not talking about black. I'm talking about if you look Mexican. Well, I'm Guatemalan. If you look Mexican, they're going to ship your ass out. They're not checking IDs. They don't give a fuck if you're legal. If you were born here, they don't give a fuck. They do not care anymore. They're just shipping them out. If they catch you, they're just going to ship you out. And if you're legal, if you got the paperwork, if you can prove that you're legal, they're going to let you back in. But see, here's the problem. Y'all came here illegally. So now they're just looking at it like, well, fuck it. If you're going to come here illegally and not obey our laws, we're not going to obey our laws to get rid of you. That's y'all fucked around and y'all find out. But who's going to build America? It's going to be America. I'll see you next week. Love, BEAGS.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.